Hey there everyone, it's Laurel. Welcome to another video here in my Simply Card Making video series. Today I'm going to show you how I can make 3 cards with one stamp image. It's so easy to do. These are the cards that I'm going to make in the video and they seriously took under 7 minutes to make, I kid you not. The stamp that I am using today is from the Ton. It's from their newest release. It's the Rose Terrace Cling background stamp. I love it. It's fantastic. And I'm going to be using Distress Minis for this technique. I find that the minis are easier to use because they're small, so I can get into all the nooks and crannies of this very detailed stamp. If you don't have distress inks, try distress markers or any other kind of inks that are safe to use or markers that are safe to use on your stamps like this. So again, I'm going in with just distress ink colors. Now I previously blogged a card set using the same stamp. I did it with red and green, and I got a lot of requests for it, so I decided to turn it into a video, and I'm just going to change up the colors by using pink and green. So again, I'm going in and just inking up. The key to this technique is just to make sure that you get all ink onto your stamped image. Just make sure all the stamped image has some kind of ink coverage. So I'm using Picked Raspberry and Spun Sugar for my pink, and Shabby Shutters, and what's the other color I'm using? Shabby Shutters and Bundled Sage, I believe, are the greens that I'm using. So I'm just kind of going in and just adding the ink, really no rhyme or reason, just making sure that all of the impressions here on this stamp have ink on top of them. Now I'm using distress inks because I'm going to be using some water with it, and distress inks react with water. So I do recommend using distress inks for this technique, but if you don't have distress inks, try what you have. So that's just a mister filled with water that I just spritzed onto my stamp here, and I've got 3 pieces of watercolored cardstock, and I am just pressing them directly onto my stamped image. So easy to do. The first one is going to be your boldest color. Then I'm going to go ahead, not re-inking, not re-spritzing, nothing. I'm just adding that second paper down, pressing down, then I'm taking that third paper and pressing it down. It's just that simple. It's so pretty. I love the different effects you get from pressing down onto this stamp here. It's just so pretty. So once I let that dry, really all you need is a sentiment. So I'm using Get It Girl and It's Cray Cray, also from the Ton here. These are some great sentiment sets here. And I'm just going to ink them up with some ink, and I'm going to stamp on my sentiment and apply this to a card base, and we're good to go. If you want to jazz it up with some sequins or something like that, go for it. I don't think this really needed anything. I kept it very simple. You can try this and create a card set with different color schemes. I think it would be so fun and very quick to pull together. So this is the boldest of the cards here. So for this one, I used a black sentiment, and I tried to be quick and not have to get out a spoon, and you can see I just got embossing powder all over my my work surface there, so I ended up having to use a spoon anyway. So that's Onyx Black pigment ink, and because it's pigment ink, I can heat set it. So I just sprinkled on some clear embossing powder and heat set that for a nice crisp black sentiment. Now the other 2 are softer colors, so I'm going to use this smoky gray pigment ink, also from VersaFine. And I'm just going to stamp the sentiments that I'm choosing to use directly onto my card base with the smoky gray. I just thought a nice softer color would be nice for the softer backgrounds of these cards instead of going with the black, but the black probably would have been fine too. So again, because that's a pigment ink, I am going to sprinkle on some embossing powder. This time I used my spoon, didn't make a mess this time. And I'll just sprinkle that on and go ahead and heat set that with my heat tool. And then we're pretty much almost done, you guys. I decided to create a card. I mean, you could use green, you could use pink, you could use white for a card base, but I decided to go with pink. I have lots of colored cardstock in my stash, and I happen to have a pink that I thought matched perfectly with that pink color of the ink. So I'm going to just take my panel and adhere it down to the card base. You could also pop it up with some foam dimension if you wanted to. I just wanted it to be flat. And then that's pretty much it. I'm going to do that for all 3 cards, and we are done. Isn't this stamp just pretty? I mean, seriously. She also has a peony background stamp set and another rose background set. I just love it. I love when you have a nice stamp that can just make your card for you. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic. So there we go. Here's all 3 of the cards made from the same inked stamp. So easy. So here's look at the first one that we stamped down, or we pressed down into that stamp. Here's the second one, a little bit softer colors. And then here's the final one. Love that stamp. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to click here to subscribe right down there on that button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will catch you next time. I hope you guys have an amazing day.